Today's date, 16th of January 2026. The meeting I've received two apologies. We've got Angela Davis from Powys County Council and Chris Wilson from Ceredigion County Council. Any other apologies?
Not that I'm aware of, Chair.
That's fine. Agenda item 2 then, which is the minutes of the previous meeting, which was on Friday the 7th of November. I need an authorization to sign the minutes as a correct record. Has anybody got anything from the minutes? If we go through them, I assume you've had them in the email, and I have a printout here. I've got one point to make, but has anyone else got anything? Okay. All I want to say is that regarding the revised recommendation 2, where we delegated authority for officers to write a letter for myself to send to the minister, just to say that we haven't yet had a reply from the minister, and that may come up later in the meeting anyway. Okay, I'll move on to item 3, which is the report and the motion that we're here to discuss today. We need to sort a decision to consider and approve the RTP plan. And for the Mid Wales RTDP and the RTF year 1 26-27 for submission at the end of this month on the 30th, subject to any amendments by this committee. And I would like to bring in Tom then to go through the report with us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair, and good afternoon, members. I'd firstly like to introduce myself as the new Regional Transport Programme Manager for the Mid Wales CJC, taking on the role from Anne Elias. So today I'm presenting the Mid Wales Regional Transport Delivery Plan and the Year 1 Regional Transport Fund Programme for 26-27, as set out in the report and supporting annexes for this meeting. It's a pivotal moment for our region as we move forward from planning into delivery. So a couple of updates since the last meeting. We've submitted the draft programme at the end of November to Welsh Government for feedback, and that feedback arrived just before Christmas. There were no major issues outlined. All schemes were provisionally approved and deemed to be appropriate for the scheme, and all are rated either green or amber in their traffic light system. Welsh Gov has asked for additional information on a number of the schemes. Some information must be included by the 30th of January, whilst other bits need to be provided by the end of March, or some schemes even into the next financial year. So both authorities met with Welsh Gov officials last week in a very productive meeting, and further meetings with subject specialists are scheduled this week and into next to confirm details ahead of submission. Powys Ceredigion and CJC officers alongside WSP are adding the required material into the relevant annexes ready for submission. We're moving along well with the RTF application and are on track to meet the deadline. Welsh Government has reiterated concerns about our capacity to deliver the uplifted programme, and we've submitted a resource plan and provided reassurances, and these have been viewed positively. Our next step is to finalise these annexes with the additional detail for the end of January submission, and with the assistance of WSP. So on to the context of the report. The delivery plan is building on the regional transport plan that was approved last autumn. The regional transport plan sets out the vision, and the delivery plan translate that vision into a practical programme of schemes. It aligns with Welsh Government policy and statutory duties and provides a clear framework for investment across the Mid Wales region. The development plan and the 26-27 programme builds on this and provides further detail on what will be delivered within the first year of the programme. So the vision for this is straightforward: an accessible, low carbon, efficient and well connected rural transport system. And to deliver that vision, the plan builds on 8 outcomes. So access for all, enabling sustainable choices, improving strategic connectivity, achieving a modal shift, increasing active travel, reducing environmental impacts, improving resilience and safety, and enhancing integration between sustainable modes of transport. These objectives steer every scheme in the programme and are aligned to the Welsh Transport Strategy Llwybr Newydd. As members already know, Welsh Government has confirmed a significant uplift provisionally of 12.8 million capital in 26-27 and 172k in revenue. We have prioritised these schemes using Transport for Wales's RTP prioritisation tool, which is included within the additional documents available for this meeting, assessing impacts against our objectives and deliverability. That means that year 1 focuses on projects that are ready to go, align with Welsh Government policy and outcomes, and provide a balanced programme across Powys and Ceredigion. We've also considered resource availability, dependencies and risk management to ensure a robust and realistic programme. Turning to highlights in year 1, which we're able to see in some of the documents attached. So with regards to active travel, we've got schemes such as Winevow to Ibers link, Newtown Riverside upgrades and Kenmouth path improvements. And on public transport and the interchanges, Aberystwyth Station interchange has accessibility improvements and integration between rail and bus interchange. And then there's further targeted bus infrastructure upgrades across both counties, covering things like shelters, curbs, roadside information. There's also matters relating to road safety and behaviour change. So that includes things like cycle training, curb craft and road safety programmes. And then finally, greener vehicles and electric vehicle infrastructure. So things like public charging hubs are included within the schemes as well. Collectively, these span our development plan categories of strategic connectivity, sustainable means of transport, public transport and integration, road safety, greener vehicles and behavioural change. So the programme addresses immediate needs whilst also building capacity for the next phases. So today we're asking the subcommittee to endorse the delivery plan, year 1 RTF programme for submission to Welsh Government by 30th of Jan deadline, and delegate authority for the relevant officers to make any non-material changes required by Welsh Government following feedback, providing additional information to ensure that funding is approved in full. No substantive changes are proposed. In short, to close, this is about moving from strategy to delivery, and it provides a clear programme that positions Mid Wales to make the most of the funding uplift. Thank you, Chair. That's it from me.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Fantastic news to hear that the projects are at the green and amber level and there's not a single red in there. Confidence to deliver. I was a bit aggrieved to hear that we've been questioned about our ability to deliver capital projects. We previous discussions as a ALA here, and I'm sure the same in Powys, we've delivered far bigger capital schemes in other areas of our LAs. So, I think we as a region are well adept at delivering the projects that we see in the RTP here. And also, before I open it out, to just say that we've had a recent public consultation on a particular project that's relevant to our area here this week, and the public interest is very high. It's an active travel project. We had an open day, and it was packed to the rafters. I felt sorry for the officers in the end because they were working from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. I don't think they had a break for lunch. So it does show that everything that we're discussing here is very, it's in the public eye. People are keen to be able to move around in a far more efficient way, and they're very concerned that some projects might not be able to be delivered for whatever reason, and they want to share their opinions with us. So I'll open it out, and we've got Councillor Charleston first. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Shelley. Thank you for that introduction as well, and for highlighting where I think we stand together on this one. We've had some discussions yesterday on what we feel is the right approach here from a political angle as well as a delivery angle as well. And I think I share your concerns, Councillor Shelley, that Welsh Government didn't seem to have the confidence in us to deliver our plan. We don't know why that is, but it may well be that we've had an increase which has gone from a level where we weren't able to deliver all the projects we wanted to because we didn't have enough money, to having the right amount of money. I think it is the right amount of money to deliver good projects across both of our local authorities. We know that our local authorities do suffer from the fact that we have a low demographic, which actually puts us at a disadvantage when any funding proposals are put forward, because it makes it very difficult to add up the figures when we don't have the number of people living in our communities. But that's not our fault. We still have to get people around our communities. We still have to get them to work, to school, for tourists and for lots of other reasons. And the fact that we've got a massive road network where we do have to get people backwards and forwards, and not everybody has a car, and we want to encourage that modal shift. This increase in investment has become, or is I've been assured by officers in conversations that I've had that we can deliver this and we will deliver it. And hopefully we'll be able to deliver more in the following year and the years after. So I'm hoping that this delivery plan will now be welcomed by Welsh Government. They won't change any of the funds because we believe they're at the right level. We still need to have conversations about how it's shared out, but that's between us, not up to Welsh Government to have an input on that one. But I'm very assured we've got some high level plans here. We've got some very good outputs, and I'm hoping that this will really deliver for the people of Ceredigion and for Powys. And we know how important these things are to them. As you said, Councillor Shelley, the amount of engagement that you have for active travel just gives us an indicator just how passionate people are about this. And they're passionate about local transport and transport networks as well. And we have to improve them. We have to improve that for two good reasons: to improve our economies. We know they're struggling, but also to improve it for the people of our communities, to drive down the carbon emissions that we know are a real problem through the excess of car use and not having those public transport routes that we would like. So I think that's all I'm going to say at the moment, Councillor Shelley, but I might come back later and might come back when we look at any other business to see how this delivery plan can prop up and support other things that have now come to light. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, you mentioned the road network. It's massive, isn't it? It's huge between the two counties, and it needs to be upheld and maintained and improved as well. You also mentioned population. As a, it does work against us in many ways, but our population in the summer is a lot bigger. The tourism angle and the boost to the economy that brings to us. It has to be sufficient to handle that extra volume that we get especially in the summer period. But we're a tourist destination all year round, I know, but in the summer period it's bigger. So has anyone else got anything to say on the matter? If we haven't, we can move on to the motion. If that's the case, the recommendation, sorry, the motion. The recommendation is for the RTP subcommittee, subject to any amendments requested by the subcommittee and delegated to officers on its behalf. Approval is sought to endorse the Mid Wales Corporate Joint Committee Regional Transport Delivery Plan and RTF Year 1 2026-2027 programme in advance of the Welsh Government submission deadline of 30th of January 2026. Officers should be delegated authority to complete a final version of the MWR-TDP and Year 1 RTF. I'm prepared to propose that. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Charlton, and also a show of hands. Let me quickly scan to page 2. I think that's a fairly unanimous vote. So we'll pass that. Councillor Preston, did you have your hand up to comment, or were you voting?
I was voting, thank you.
Cool, thank you. Okay, well, that was short and sharp. I'll move on to agenda item 4, which is any other business, and I will bring in Councillor Charlton.
Yes, I'd like to bring in Councillor Preston or Councillor Glynn here as well, because he is the cabinet member who has been given this very good news. But I just wanted to make a final point here as part of that, is that this piece of good news is going to impact on our transport network. It is actually going to increase visitor representation and visitor numbers incredibly, possibly over the next 2 years, but certainly in 2027. And I'm just wondering whether we can work together with you on the regional transport plan to see whether all the points in the regional transport plan actually provides us with the infrastructure that we are going to need, and how we might want to discuss that as we're going forward. But if I can bring in Councillor Glynn now, just to explain exactly what's happening in 2027, because he is the one that's been delivering this over the last couple of days. And I'm assuming that Councillor Glynn, you're back from Leeds now.
Yes, so that's right. So I hope everyone's aware by now that obviously Paris County Council, well, Paris will host the 3rd stage of the Tour de France starting in Welshpool, which is very, very exciting indeed. Councillor Charlton made reference to Leeds there, where I was at the official route announcement of the UK. So yes, it's very exciting indeed, and I totally endorse everything Councillor Charlton has said with regards to the need for transport planning, certainly with the number of visitors that are going to come here. And though it is coming to Paris, I'm sure it will have a long-lasting impact for the whole of our region as well, and with Wales. So very exciting indeed.
Absolutely, Councillor. You know, I'm an avid cyclist, and this is the best news, and the fact that it's coming. Okay, it's not quite in Ceredigion, but it's next door, and half of Ceredigion will be coming over to Powys for that weekend, for that day, and even the night before. But I've also spent time on the Tour de France in my other job, and I know what a monster it is. It's an ecological nightmare. The amount of vehicles involved with it are off the scale. I mean, you're going to have guest houses booked up east and west and north and south for 70 miles either way. The size of it is just astronomical. So it's a very valid point to discuss it here. I'm not entirely sure on Welsh Government's plans for maybe improving the routes, or is that going to come back to local authorities to foot the bill? And if it does, that's a big burden, because the first, I don't know, Councillor Preston, looking at the route briefly, the first 30 or 40 miles of the route are in Powys, aren't they? Or possibly even longer than that. So it's a lot of
that's right.
Yeah.
So sorry, Pompey, not trying to cut across. Yeah,
so it's something, I'm not sure if you've had discussions yet with Welsh Government on what the dynamics of that are going to be.
So we don't. The answer is sorry, and I'm really sorry to cut across. I'm just struggling with my connectivity a little bit. But just to say that obviously we're fortunate insofar as most of the route is on the trunk road for us, so it won't fall directly to us as a local authority. But I'm sure we'll be playing a role in the preparation soon.
Yeah. But then we've got everything else that goes with it. It's the volume of visitors and how we get them in, and you've got of course, thankfully we've got the train network that's going to be very busy. Transport for Wales, of course, they're going to be involved in extra carriages finally. and more frequent services during that time.
Issues,
Yeah. So no, I'd like to just pass on my personal congratulations with your team for your recent, and well, I guess you've been in discussions for some time now with Welsh Government and ASO on the matter, and it's very exciting. Thank you, Jackie.
Just come back in quickly as well, because one of the key outcomes I'd like to see from this is we've got two other very big events in Paris as well in the same year, within a couple of months of one another. One is the Endura motorcycle World Championships, and also the Ice Deptford's coming to Paris as well. So there's two other very, very big international events coming to Paris as well. So what I'm keen to make sure that we're doing through the RTP is that the infrastructure that we're putting in place is appropriate for the level of interest that we're going to get, because it is, I believe, and this is what we should be looking at as outcomes, that we'll have tourists in 2026 who will be coming here because suddenly Paris and Wales becomes an international site or an international area to come and visit. And then 2027, we will have the events. And then we hope to have a legacy after that, which is very much part of that public transport infrastructure. And as you say, Shelley, is if we can get extra carriages on the trains and make sure that people can get here in a green way, so that we're not increasing the carbon emissions because everybody turns up in a car. We do want them to get here by public transport. It's really important that we do that, but we can't promise them that unless we put the infrastructure in place. So I think the development plan here is really, really important to that. And if we can make that case to Welsh Government now to express upon them that the investment that they're putting in is going to go to good use, and we can actually make use of that as part of these international world challenging events that are coming up, I think it would be really good for us. And I know that John has been planning this for some time. We've not been able to put it into the regional transport plan because we've not been able to say anything about it. So all of those things have been going on basically in the background, but without having anything to prop it up. We don't know where we didn't know where we were going to get the money from. We didn't know where we were going to get the infrastructure from. But now we can start looking at that. And I do think that the plan is capable of supporting that. So I'm hoping that that's one of the things that we'll be able to impress on Welsh Government when we put this plan forward, because I'm still nervous that they're going to take some of this money off of us because other local authorities are making a stronger case than we can. So that's really, really important. And I think we need to express that very, very strongly when we put this plan forward. So I'm looking to officers to make sure that happens.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity. It's a massive task, Tour de France, I mean, but it's a huge opportunity for us to put that call out for extra improvements to our public transport network, especially because at lunchtime I had a friend tell me that I might pop up to the Tour de France on the morning. I'm like, you're not going to get anywhere near Welshpool on the roads. Most of the roads are going to be closed. It's going to be so important for us to have Transport for Wales on this from day one, and for the whole Cambrian line and adjoining lines, to make sure that provision is there over that period. And it's going to be over 2 or 3 days, isn't it? But the long-term benefit of that is to prove that this area can pull off. And you've done it before. You've done it with the Tour of Britain and other major events, and this is just a step up on that ladder of major events. So it's not like you're coming in green. You've done it before, and we can certainly do it again. Yeah. Any other business? We'll keep on this subject if anyone else has got any further comments. I haven't got any other business, so if there isn't any more, I will just move on to item number 5, which is to suggest the date of the next meeting. Bring in Jonathan possibly for that.
Sorry, Chair, I think that's yet to be decided. So any comments from the meeting are welcome.
Yeah, on that note, I suppose we know that the submission's going in on the 30th, and we should hear back by March, before PERDA, or the pre-election period, as we now call it. In that respect, when would you like to reconvene? When any suggestions on when we need next? Whatever way the decision goes, I think we need to have a discussion about it. We don't have a date of when that's going to be. It's just going to be roughly sometime in March. Rodri, do you want to come in on that?
Yeah, sorry, I'll just come in on that point, Councillor Charles. I don't think we have a definite date yet as to as to when any announcements will be made or when we'll hear back about our submission. So can I suggest that obviously we need to be mindful of PERDA, and we need to have we'll try our best to arrange a meeting between any announcement and before PERDA kicks in, so that we can hold that meeting. So probably keeping in touch with yourself to agree when is best to put that meeting in the diary.
Yeah, okay. So we'll leave it kind of flexible at the moment. It sounds like it's going to be sometime in March, but let's just leave it at that for now then. Yeah. Okay, on that note, unless I forget to print a second page out, I believe that is the end of the meeting. So I'd like to thank you all for your attendance today, and an exciting meeting. And let's hope we, in March we're discussing, very positive things. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.